free brand lancing, trading, e-com, dropshipping, clothing brand, coaches of coaches, info operating, everything works. Maybe you came across a video on YouTube or Instagram. Maybe you watched one of TJR's brain rot reels where he does anything but trading. But there is only one important factor that will determine if or not an entrepreneur would last in the game or go back to a 9-to-5. And in this video, I'm going to break down something Alex Hormozi said in 6 different steps. However, I'm going to summarize it in one video in less than 10 minutes. You've seen these videos, you've seen people's content, you've seen maybe paid advertisement that comes on your FYP. Maybe you've even seen some case studies and you just look up to some people and say, this person is so successful because he's doing that business model and making X amount of money. I could do the same thing. Hypothetically, yes, you can. Hypothetically, anything works. E-commerce works, dropshipping works, brand building works, clothing brand works. YouTube automations work, trading works, everything works. And I want you to understand that every single thing works. If you've seen a friend, if you've spoken to a friend that says, I'm making X amount of money by pressure washing, that's great. That doesn't mean that you have to do that as well. The reason why you do something is not because so-and-so person said that it works and I just wanted to do it, but rather I came across this and I found value in this because of this. Hence why I want to pursue this. And the reason why these entrepreneurs fall off is because they end up being affected by other people in a completely different niche, in a completely different industry, in a completely different business model. Let me explain further. Me, myself, I'm in the info operating space where I help coaches scale their programs. Maybe I build one from scratch, etc. Blah, blah, blah. But the only reason why I have sustained in this space and I'm constantly growing in the space, not just being more recognized, but proving myself right and improving my own skill sets and deliverability for my clients, is because I stuck to it. I've seen countless videos from Brez Scales, from TJR, from pretty much any other business model guru that they're making so much more money than I am, but I'm in a completely different level. I'm on a completely different chapter. Everybody at some point reaches the end destination of maybe X amount of money per month or X amount of net worth or just their overall life being completely fucking free. But that is not a reason for me to go from one business model to the other. And that's the reason, guys. That's the reason why so many people fall off. So many people fail and so many people, as Hormozi said, repeat the same 6 months for 20 years. Because it's a cycle. Your first 6 months, theoretically, statistically, is the period where you're figuring things out. You probably have made zero money from your business, but you know you're about to have that breakthrough if you just stick to it. And that's what I did. I saw countless people make a shit ton of money from other business models, but I said, I've stuck to this business model, I'm committed to this, and I'm not gonna repeat myself in going back to that early learning stages of a completely foreign thing just because someone else is in that too. Matter of fact, someone else is in some other space as well. So should I just do a little bit of everything? Or should I just do this for 2 months and then do another business model for 2 months and then do trading and then be like, oh, trading is too hard. I'm going to do e-commerce because BSM Fredo is over there. What am I going to do? I said, I'm going to stick to the path I'm on because I know this works. I know this works not just because other people have made it work, but because I've chosen this path and I'm going to stick to it. And matter of fact, yes, I did find passion in this business and I saw a lot of upward potential and, no downside risk, as Jordan Belfort likes to say. But that's the reason, guys. That's the reason why you're probably stuck in a perpetual cycle of, what if this doesn't work? It's because you've told yourself and you've opened your mind to considering other business models where realistically you're supposed to just stick to one, make really good money in that, learn a lot of new skills, and keep in mind that you will never know enough. You will never know enough even in the business model that you're committed in. The only reason why you would possibly trend hop into another business model is because A, you haven't made any money from your current business. B, you have made a bit of money, but you just feel like you can't make enough money unless you do this other business model. Or 3, you just don't believe in yourself. If you stick to something long enough, you will make it work. There are only 2 ways you can go about anything in life. And I'm not just talking about entrepreneurship. I'm talking about anything that you pursue. You either win or you fail before you win. Those are the only two possibilities in you starting, committing, and trying something out. There is no way that you try something and you fail at it, because that is just you saying, I tried something, but I did not stick along long enough for me to see that it works. And I've been there before. I've run 2 agencies in the past. One of them I made 0 money from, even though I technically was the CEO and founder for so long. And the second one I made a couple $1,000s off, but I chose to go all in with info operating. Helping coaches coach coaches on how to coach coaches is what's usually being spread, but it's helping coaches start or scale their coaching business. So if you're in that phase of deciding on what business model to go into next, don't get into that rabbit hole, that perpetual cycle of constant, pessimistic, unproven, uncertain thoughts. You only grow certainty by doing. You don't grow certainty by trying out several different things and not knowing what to even focus on. So stick to what business you're in right now. If you have an agency, if you have an online business, if you have even a physical business, stick to it. Make it work. It will work. Or if you are the person that doesn't actually have a business right now, think about what you want to start. Don't take too long to start it, and start. Don't get distracted by the countless, infinite amount of business models out there. Because as I said, everything works. And as Hormozi said, it's very easy to repeat 6 months for 20 years. What that means is that it's very easy to get stuck in that 6 months of early stages in that business where you're trying to work things out. And it's very easy to repeat that same cycle for 20 years without even realizing, and then it's too late and you realize, holy shit, I've wasted all my life just trying to make something work. And you don't want to be that guy. No one does. Your fate is completely in your hands. You have no excuse to not stick to something. You have no excuse to not give it your entire best effort. And if you think that certain people in your industry, in your space, just got lucky with that one client, you're right. They did. People got lucky with the biggest clients out there, with the most minimal effort relative to what you think you're going through. But that's the game. If you work every day, if you focus every day, if you put in the hours every day, if you never give up, if you have faith in your future and present self, you will also have your lucky breakthrough. Stay true to yourself and tell yourself, almost fool yourself into delusion that this shit works. Your lucky breakthrough can either be tomorrow or a week later or a month later, maybe even a year later. But you choosing to just switch a business model just because your current one hasn't made you money puts you back to square one, where everybody else is way ahead of you. You will never, ever, ever keep up with the constant growth in the online business space with all the entrepreneurs out there if you keep trying to repeat that 6-month cycle.